faces, all the light, left in faces, my body, head and soul. Many miles away, I could start a perfect story. I find myself and find no glory. This deceptive world, giving me the sign, giving me the sign. Giving me the sign, giving me the sign.
Welcome everyone to the Sci-Fi Queens podcast, where we explore the female characters in science fiction television shows, movies, books, games, art, and anywhere female characters are depicted. And of course, now we're going to be looking at sci-fi TV shows as well. If you are new to our channel, we welcome you. We ask that you hit that subscribe and notification bell. We will really appreciate it, as it will really help us grow, and it'll let you know when our show is coming up next. I am your host, Nita, and joining me tonight are my co-hosts, Sarah, the Queen of Darkness, and our newest sci-fi queen, Tiffany, the Queen of Nerds. And today we have a special episode that we are going to be repeating throughout our show from now on, where Tiffany is going to be bringing us the latest updates in television shows in the sci-fi genre. Welcome as the newest sci-fi queen, Tiffany. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Hello, everybody, my nerd babies. It is I, your queen.
You definitely have to go follow her, Tiffany, the nerd goddess, on her social media platforms.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
So, Tiffany, talk to us about your television show, because you love all things television, not just sci-fi. So talk to us, how did that start, and how did you create a platform that's now landed you on a podcast?
Right. Well, let me just tell you, so what led to me recording and talking about TV online is because I watch so many shows, and just out of my love for stories and characters, I watch anime, all kinds of things. And nobody was talking about the shows I was watching. Like, I would look and be like, oh, what do they think about this? Like, nobody was talking about the shows I was watching. So I found that recording it and talking about it made other people come and talk about it too. They're like, oh yeah, I like that. What'd you think about this part? So it made me I wanted to find a community of people who were talking about the things I wanted to talk about. Who were interested in the shows I was interested in. And it surprised me how many people were watching certain things. And even they were suggesting stuff to me. So it kind of broadened me on other things to watch too. But really, any genre, I'm going to watch it because I just love character building. I love to fall in love with a character. I think that started with Game of Thrones. They fall in love with the characters, and then next thing you know, they're gone. So
breaks my heart every time.
Every time, yes.
Yes. So anything, especially sci-fi, anything with any magic, any sci-fi, any kind of space, anything like that, I'm glued in. Even if somebody says, "Oh, it wasn't that good," I'm glued in. I can't help it. I'm glued in.
Now, did you grow up watching television? Is this something that you started
not as much
younger?
Not as much, just because I have 4 sisters, so there was a lot of TV competition, so not really. I usually that's probably why I watch everything, because I have to watch whatever is somebody else's turn. We're watching this, so I'm watching this. So that's probably where it started, me just being so broad-based instead of just being in a small box. Because a lot of people do stay in their box of TV shows, their comfort shows, Yes. But I don't have a comfort show. I'm gonna watch everything.
Absolutely. And one of the things that made it interesting probably is that we grew up in a generation that there weren't multiple TVs in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Because maybe that living room TV, maybe your parents had their own TV, you weren't allowed to touch it anyway.
Right.
And that's probably about it. And there was no one, nowadays, there was no no cell phones, no tablets
Right.
or iPads. And so
Right.
how has television watching changed from when you were watching TV to now?
Right. Well, I mean, now I can make a list of shows I want to watch and watch them in my own leisure time instead of like, before you got to watch it when it's on or try to like
Yep.
record it. They start the DVR a couple, it's better
Or catch it on the second, or catch it on the second showing at 2 a.m. or
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So it's changed in that sense. Like I can make a list if somebody suggests something, I'm like, I'm added to the list. And then I can just watch it whenever. And then of course, binging.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my jam.
I love it.
Sarah knows I'm gonna binge, okay?
Oh yeah.
If they're like came on like Evil, I haven't even watched the new season of Evil yet because I want to binge. I haven't seen it.
I
Tell me.
love that show.
No. Well,
I'm
that's
not
like
gonna say
I
anything.
want to watch the new season, but I feel like I need to go back and start over and then just go through all of it so I can be caught up.
It's worth it.
That's
worth it.
one show that I thought when I first started, do I like this? Like
Right?
I was unsure as
Yeah,
to
it was
whether
kind of
or
like,
not I liked it.
what's going on?
Exactly. Like
Exactly.
Because it's not sci-fi, right? And I watch things outside of sci-fi.
Right.
Well, I mean, there is some science in it, though. There is some science.
There's some science.
Technically, they classify it as a sci-fi thriller horror series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because they had to do some science to make some stuff happen. So, yeah.
So interesting.
But you're right, but it's different. It's different. It's in the outside realm. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
It has a little bit of the religious factor on there. It has a little bit of
what threw me off right there.
Yes.
Like I was like, I want to watch this. And then they had our guy who plays Luke Cage. It's hard for me sometimes to see other positions. And so when I saw him, I'm like, a priest? I don't know. But I like it.
Not sure that quite fits. Yeah.
But definitely, absolutely. But yes, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that television, viewing and watching has definitely grown. We could go back and repeat shows easily. Back when I was coming up, you had to wait for, if you wanted to watch a show that already fit, you had to wait for it to come in reruns. That's what they used to call it. Now you can stream them at your leisure, which is really, but at the same token, TV has lost a lot of episodes. We went from 25 episodes to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that as a TV.
Listen, every time I see that, like, I'm like, okay, hopefully they give us at least 10 episodes. Now I'm praying for 10 episodes because they'll cut you off at 8.
Yes.
I'm praying for 10.
Yeah.
I'm praying for 10. Yeah. I 100% agree with that because I love a good 20 episode season. Like even in the days of like early days of like HBO when they were doing like True Blood and stuff like that. Like
it was an episode.
Right.
They had a lot.
I felt like we got more, and like it made me think of True Blood when you were like, we have to wait for things to come back on because that was like my first show that I binged when it first came
True
out.
Blood was a summer show, and True Blood was the summer show because it was on the off, and they had more kind of like Game of Thrones. It's like it's in the summer, so it's more.
Devin makes an excellent comment up here. I'll put it up. Don't worry. I know. Oh, okay. It says I missed the longer seasons. I missed them too.
It gave them time to develop the show, Devin. So I agree. Developing the show was like key. Like you really got more out of
Think
shows.
about it. Could you have gotten the quality of Deep Space Nine, of character development, growth, storyline development in 10 episodes per season? No. Needed that.
It would have had to go on for like 20 seasons to get the development that we got.
Exactly.
Well, you gotta think too. The way the storytelling is a little bit different now too. So I hunger for those like nostalgic times, like Deep Space Nine, like those days where the storytelling was long.
Yeah,
but now it's kind of like with Discovery, they changed the way that they structure it so they can try to squeeze all of that in. But you always feel like you missed something. Like there was something that happened, that you missed because they can't show everybody all the time.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
But Tiffany's going to be doing this segment on the regular. We will keep you posted always because she's going to be bringing us the latest on not just sci-fi TV, but sci-fi movies, all the things sci-fi that is in media. She's going to keep us updated. And we're going to go right into her segment. Now we're going to start with this. Take it away, Tiffany.
All right. Well, first up is Silo. Now you can watch Silo on Apple TV. It currently does have one season available to watch. So you can go ahead and get that binge in. And season 2 has just wrapped up filming. Well, they wrapped up filming in March 2024. So they're in post-production now, Nita. So it's almost...
Can I just say for my Android users that don't have Apple TV, I do not have any kind of Apple device, but you can get Apple TV on the browser, like on your browser, or on the on a Roku or Fire Stick. And let me tell you, I have one more episode to go on Silo season 1. This has got me craving more. When is it coming back out? This is fantastic. Talk to us about the storyline.
Yes, there's so many like mysteries, and without spoiling it too much, this is a dystopian sci-fi. There's like a community of hundreds of thousands of people that are existing inside of a giant silo underground. So basically the world has ended. I'm going to say in air quotes, the world has ended, and they have them living in this society, and they have all these rules that they follow and like traditions that they do inside of this silo. So they make them think that they are very safe. And the first episode, again, without spoiling it, does present us with a mystery that kind of guides the rest of the season. And don't fall in love with the characters, all I'm going to say.
That is so true. This is one of those shows that the minute you love a character, you're going, wait, what just happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't know, is there deception?
Yeah, who's because they're all kind of out for themselves, or kind of trying to figure out their own part of what's going on in the silo. Now, it is led by the phenomenal Rebecca Ferguson. I love Rebecca Ferguson so much.
And what I love about this show is that they didn't start with her being the lead.
No,
you thought it was someone else.
Yeah, it didn't. Right. It started with Rashida Jones's character kind of leading things off. Right. So in the first episode, it does start off with her and David Ohelio being kind of the lead characters. Yeah. And then the second episode jumps into Rebecca Ferguson's story. I won't tell you how it gets there, but it does.
Oh, no. Can't tell them.
It jumps in, and she is leading the rest of the season. But again, it's based on a book series. So if you read the books and you kind of already know what's going to happen. I haven't read the books. I don't want no spoilers. But it is based on a book series. So that does give us some kind of idea, Nita and Sarah, about how many more seasons or how much more story we can expect. You know, when they adopt these books, they kind of have an idea that they want to get the whole story out. So
I love though the diversity in the cast. They've got Common, who does a phenomenal job. The first time I was introduced to Common as an actor was in Hell on Wheels. He was phenomenal in this piece.
He plays bad guys so good.
But in this show, he is excellent. You want to hate him, but you hate him.
Like, do you know?
Really can't. Exactly.
Right. They also have Tim Robbins, who's phenomenal in this. I don't like him in this show, but I love him. And Ian Glean from Game of Thrones. Like, this cast is full. But there's so many stories you can get to in the silo. The mystery is unraveling. Now, you got to wait for season 2 to figure things out. Nita, I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't going to know nothing at the end of this episode.
Oh, my Lord. Like, tonight, I'm going to watch this last, the episode 10. I'm trying to get it all done. I was trying to get it done for the show tonight, but I just couldn't. So I was like, okay, I will wrap it up tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's gonna give you season one. Last thing I'll say about it is season one's gonna give you at the end. It's gonna give you some answers, but it's also going to, of course, give you a really new question to open up season two. So I'll just say that.
Absolutely, yes. And let me tell you, the acting and the writing is phenomenal. I've never read the books, but
me either.
Whoever transposed the book to a screenplay, or or I think that's what it's called. It did a phenomenal job of really conveying the message of what was being said. Because
it put you in the world. It put you in the world. Like, they world built the silo so well to where every time they went down to another level, you felt like you were in a different show. Like, it feels different on the lower levels than it does on the top. Like,
that sounds interesting.
And there was someone who said, "Oh, I haven't seen them in 20 years." What do you mean?
Right. If you live on level 300, you have to make a special trip to see your friend on level 100. Yeah, I haven't seen my friend in 20 years who lives in the silo with me, because it's such a trip to go down.
And you see, people, I don't think they have. It's all stairs, like elevators. Because I don't think I'm visiting people. I'm gonna stay on my floor.
Now that's the real reason why you haven't seen your friend.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, they don't see them in so long because they can't do the stairs.
Yeah,
it's crazy how this society is built up on, because they've been in this silo, this community, or these generations. They've been in there for generations. So it's built upon whatever they know from previous generations, which, you come to find out is, how you can do like the telephone game where you can tell somebody something and see what it is at the end, what the person says at the last person versus what the first person's message was. Like, that's how it is. It's like, is this the same message from the people who founded the silo? Like, it's all just, you don't know what's real, what you should be believing, who's watching you. You just don't know. Yeah, it's interesting, Sarah. You should definitely watch it.
It's on my list. I have Apple TV because I'm an Apple girl.
Yes, you should definitely watch it. It's good.
It's a really, really, really good show. Absolutely, guys. You definitely should watch it. If you like a dystopian kind of sci-fi, this is the one to watch. I mean, very well done. It's not slow paced, but it's not fast paced. It's just right. It really takes you through the lives of the individual in such a nice, precise way.
And how many episodes in the season?
10. There's 10 episodes, but it's fast paced if you binge it. So for you, Nita, it was fast paced. For me, I was scratching my neck every week trying to get more silo. Oh man, but that's Silo, guys. Check it out. Apple TV. You can watch the whole first season and get ready for season 2.
Yes, and they have amazing actors that you guys are going to recognize from The Walking Dead, from Game of Thrones. You're going to recognize them, especially if you watch those shows in their entirety. You're going to be like, that guy looks familiar, that girl looks familiar, and it's because you've seen them. And I love that. I love that about a show, when you recognize the actor.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Do let me know when you want to go to the next slide.
Oh, next. I'm ready.
All right, we're ready. Talk to me about Acolyte.
Oh, my goodness. So have y'all seen this one? Nita, Sarah? Have y'all seen this one yet?
I have not gotten to the Acolyte yet, but it's on the list.
This is a Star Wars. This is Star Wars. So Star Wars fans, this is a Star Wars show for people who don't even know anything about Star Wars. All you really need to know is that there are Jedi. This happens way before the events of the prequel series that introduced like Anakin. This happened hundreds of years before that. So even if you've never watched Star Wars, you can pick up on this. They have their own separate story. None of the characters from the Star Wars movies that we know show up in this. So it's its own separate story, but it links to the other stories, but it's hundreds of years before.
Yeah, because Star Wars sometimes can get a little confusing for me as to how to watch it in the sequence that will make sense. So I was like, I wonder at what point this show is and when can I watch it, and how do I get it. But you know what? Now I know I don't have to worry about it. As soon as I finish Silo, this is the next one on the list. Is definitely the Acolyte. I mean, the female characters in here are
yeah, it's on mine and Devin's our list. Yeah.
Have you seen any of the other Star Wars Disney Plus shows?
Yes.
I watched them all. We've watched them all. This is the only one that we haven't watched.
Yeah, this one it just wrapped up, so the full season 1 is available to watch now. So they bill it as a sci-fi thriller, and it's way outside the realm of the other Star Wars shows on Disney Plus. Like this one, you kind of get a little racing of the heart at moments. Like the dark side is really dark side, and in this one, so it feels they bill it on Disney Plus as a thriller. So.
Oh wow!
Just say that.
So they deliver. They deliver.
Yeah,
now, unfortunately, they've gotten a lot of backlash on the Acolyte. What are your feelings of all the negativity that the characters have received?
Honestly, I haven't seen the negativity. Maybe I'm not locked in on on the negativity of it, but the other reviews I've seen have been
not the
reviews.
Positive. The reviews have been great, but from the fandom itself,
the good old voice. Not Star Wars.
The fandom of Star Wars, much like the fandoms of many shows, they're going to be mixed on a TV adaptation of their beloved Star Wars. I mean, I love Star Wars down. But I love to see more stories. So I don't know of the.
I agree. I like more in-universe stuff and not maybe not the stories that we know and not what we're expecting, but still in the same world.
Right. It tells us more. It gives you something extra. Like, oh, while this was happening, this was also happening in the other side of the universe. They were doing this over here. But I think that I love all the actors in this series. Amidala Steinberg does an amazing job. I won't tell the details, but anybody who's read on what the show's going to be about know the character that she's going to play. Of course, Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix.
She's amazing.
Series.
I think she's such an underrated actress. She is so
versatile.
Did you ever see the movie Memento?
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
She blew my mind in that movie.
And then we have Jodie Turner-Smith, gorgeous, beautiful. She's playing Amidala's mother in this show. So she is gonna appear as her mom. I won't say anything else about her character. I really don't want to spoil the show because they didn't really let a lot slip before the show came out, but now of course it is out. Details are around. But for anybody who doesn't know the details, I don't want to give it away.
Now have they been renewed?
Not yet. But they're expecting it because they did really well. Especially with the cast of characters that they have, like Lee Jong-jae from Squid Games. He actually learned English for this role. He didn't know English.
Wow.
That's commitment.
That's
to do this role. He wanted to be in Star Wars, and they wanted him. He does a phenomenal job. And then you have Manny Jacinto, who from The Good Place. If anybody ever watched The Good Place, this character from his character on The Good Place are polar opposites. You won't even recognize him. First of all, that man is fine. Let's just put that out there. And in this show, you really get to understand why they put him in here. Okay, you're gonna understand. They're gonna tell you. But it's full. The cast is full of amazing actors. Of course, with Star Wars, you get a little bit of comedy because it's unintentional. It's they have the
absolutely.
Side comedy. But this is a thriller, 100%. So people are gonna die.
Oh wow! Okay,
people are going to die. The Jedi,
but you definitely need to keep us
in this series.
That is amazing because Jedi's usually is someone that you think it's.
Yeah, they try. They have
a
code. They have a code, but that's the whole mystery of this show. The Jedi are not the Jedi that you know. Not yet. They're still, right now in this
early days.
Timeline, this area in the timeline of Star Wars, they are like the police of the galaxy. They pretty much run anybody that's in trouble. You call the Jedi at this moment in history. So they're at their highest point right now. Like
and
they are.
Nita,
but they are very much getting challenged by the Senate, though. At this point in history, like they're at their highest point, but they're also about to get challenged.
Excellent.
And Disney Plus does list the Star Wars movies and shows in timeline order, like they do with Marvel.
Oh,
so you can watch them in. Yes, you can watch them in order in the way they're supposed to be watched. Like,
okay, that's
good. And they even they stick the shows in there too. So like Andor was before Rogue One and all that. Well, I mean, which is obviously because he was, but yeah, it's kind of neat, and they stick Solo in there and all of them, and it's kind of nice. If you go to at the top of Disney Plus, there's the franchise buttons. If you click on Star Wars and then scroll down, further down it'll say in timeline order, like release order, and then it'll have timeline order, and that's where I go because I like to start and go in order so I can kind of feel the flow of how things are unfolding. I mean, I'll watch them the way they come out too, but I prefer to watch things in order. And Leah likes to watch she's stuck on Marvel watching them all in order.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know they had it like that on the inside the app.
Yeah, and Disney Plus they do that. Yeah.
I love that. I mean, guys, definitely watch out and follow Tiffany because she's going to let us know when
all the good shows
has been tell you when it's coming back. Yeah.
All
right, so next. All right, next up we have the Umbrella Academy Season 4, which is coming pretty soon, August 8th.
August
8th. Yes, it's like around the corner.
Yeah.
Basically tomorrow. So you have 1, 2, 3, you don't really got that much time to catch up, but of course they're gonna release the full season at once. So
this is a fantastic show that I think is so diverse and so accommodating and so open with their cast. And the show itself is super fun.
Yeah.
Every season has been so different.
Yeah.
Now, is season 4 their last season, or
season 4 is the final season, and we don't know much about it except like what we've seen from from like the little teasers they put out, but they're keeping it tightly under wraps. They have put out the tagline, the final timeline. We do know from last season. I won't spoil it in case anybody's super behind, but they are in a little timey-wimey situation, okay?
Yeah.
Timelines are out of whack right now. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for anyone unfamiliar with the series, basically one day in 1989, 43 infants are born seemingly at random to unconnected women who showed no signs of pregnancy the day before. 7 of the kids are adopted by billionaire Sir Reginald Hargreaves, who then creates the Umbrella Academy and prepares his children to become superheroes. So they do show them as children in the first season, doing superhero stuff. And it's also like out of whack and weird. It's not the superhero things you expect.
Yeah.
Their powers are strange.
They have the most unusual powers you could ever know. Like this gentleman over here, he is so muscular. He barely
he's like a neck. Body. He has an 8 body, and then but everyone from the original gang is gonna all be back for this season, including one of the characters who plays Ben, who was only there right there in the corner, bottom right corner. He was only there in like one of the characters' mind, I'll just say, but he's gonna be back full time because of the timeline situation. He's gonna be back full time as himself, where everyone else can see him. So
that is the great thing about science fiction is that we can see the timeline.
Yeah, Yeah, they can play with. They can do timelines. They got powers. They got everything. Like they have one of the characters. Everyone else is an adult, but he's a kid because he got pushed out of time.
I love. He's the one that actually time loop.
Right, but he's the oldest. He's a kid, but he's the oldest because of how he did the time stream, and then he came back and turned back into a kid. But he grew up. He already grew up. So he's a kid, but he's also the oldest. So yeah, the next season is going to be so exciting. Like I cannot wait to see what happens because I don't think this will spoil it too much for you, but season 4 opens up with none of them have their powers. So if you don't know how season 3 ended, they're gonna lose their powers. That's all I'm gonna say.
They don't have powers. That's right. That's right.
Season 4 opens up and they don't have their powers. Yeah. So that's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. But the trailer does show them with their powers at some point. So they'll get them back eventually. We just don't know how or what's gonna happen now. The character in the bottom right corner, she plays Layla. She's not one of the original members of the Umbrella Academy. She came in later, but she does also have powers. She does also have powers, but she's like their little side sister. But we love her. But yeah, but this cast is amazing.
And it's a fun show to watch.
Yeah.
It definitely is a fun show to watch.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Before we go to the next one, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
All
right, we are going to go right into the next one. Yes, that is our buddy Jace. When we started the Sci-Fi Queens, I always support him and always make sure I promote his business. He actually does these things for a living. He is an amazing artist. So definitely, if you need help with your own podcast or your own show, definitely give him a holla for sure. But let's go to Arcane.
All right, so I'm going to tell you, ladies, we got 5 or 6 more shows to get through, so we're going to speed it up because I want to talk about everything. All right, let's do it. Okay, so Arcane season 2 is going to release in November of this year. So season 1 is already available. This is an animated series based on the League of Legends video game series. So if you're a League of Legends fan, this is fan service. So even if you haven't played League of Legends, and you enjoy a good anime, you'll like this. The stories are really good. For those unaware, this series is an origin story leading of a future led by future champions. League of Legends champions, Vi and Jinx. So Vi and Jinx are respectively played by Ella Purnell from Fallout. If you haven't seen Fallout, it's an amazing series. And Haley Steinfeld, who is the current MCU Hawkeye. So these two ladies are busy. But season 2 is going to pick up right after the events of season 1. So there's not going to be a time jump or anything like that, even though we waited forever for it. It's going to pick up right after the events of season 1.
And this is the Netflix season.
Yes, a Netflix series. They just announced that season 2 is going to be the last season. And so, yes, for this particular series in the League of Legends, universe that they're trying to develop. But they're saying they're going to be putting out more things. Just this series is following these two sisters. This is gonna be their last season. So it'll be fine. I think they knew about it, so they have time to wrap it up.
Exactly, definitely. Yeah. And now we have Agatha all along.
I've been waiting so long for this series. So long for this series. Again, this is fan service for Marvel fans. Anybody who, my favorite Marvel character of all as the Scarlet Witch. So, of course, I watched WandaVision. You need to have watched WandaVision for this to make sense, guys. Like, you can watch it on its own. There's no rules to this. It's TV, obviously. But you wanna be informed. You want to know what's going on. You kind of want to know Agatha's story from that to kind of get, because when they pick up in this show, they're going to pick up right after WandaVision. So you're going to want to need to know what happened to Agatha at the end of that series to kind of understand what the heck is happening in episode 1. And they have said that, the series creators have said they want you to have watched that. So you're not too confused on certain things that they're going to be doing. It will come in with Agatha without her powers. So, yeah. So that's why you have seen the end of WandaVision to know why she doesn't have her powers, right? So Agatha doesn't have her powers, and she's going to set off on a quest with other witches who have no covens. So this cast, as you can see, is pretty full of amazing actors. I did just put a couple of them. So Catherine Hahn is reprising her role as Agatha. And
I love her. She's fantastic.
Yes, I love her. Joining her is going to be Aubrey Plaza, Joe Locke, and Patti LuPone. I'm so excited.
I love her.
As a witch, like, and in some of the trailer footage, they show her as a younger witch. Like, she's hundreds of years old, like Agatha. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And she has a history with Agatha, so they allude in the trailer. Like, they show her saying, like, why would I want to join you? I know what you're about. Like, she has a history with Agatha, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. Coming on September 18th on Disney+.
Excellent.
Are they dropping the whole season at once, too?
No, I don't know. They're not going to drop the whole season at once.
They're going to go weekly? Okay.
It's going to be weekly, And next up, we have another Star Wars. This is Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is going to take place in the same part of the Star Wars timeline as The Mandalorian and the Ahsoka series. So they're all happening in tandem. And this is also going to be on Disney+, set to release. They don't have an official release date, but they're saying it's going to be sometime in this coming up second half of the year, because it's already filmed, already done, but they haven't told much about it. Again, they want to keep us.
You need to keep us updated. When
I'm sure they're going to be doing more interviews as it gets closer, but they have said that it follows a journey of 4 kids who make a mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home planet, and they get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. So something's gonna happen on their planet, and they're gonna leave and go off onto the ship alone as the Skeleton Crews per se. Now, we do know that Jude Law is going to be playing a Jedi in this series.
I love it.
Character's going to be, and I'm so excited to see Jaleel in this series.
Yes, me too. I love them both. They're fantastic.
Yes. We don't know what his character is going to be, but it's been rumored that there's one of 2 characters he could be playing, and it's most likely going to be a pirate type character who the kids are going to encounter while they're in the galaxy. But this is going to be interesting. I'm ready. So again, Disney Plus. Later on, I'll let you guys know exactly when.
Let's move on to the next one.
All right. So this one, I cannot wait.
How similar will this be to the movies?
So this is going to take place with 10,000 years before the movies. So 10,000 years before Paul Atreides ascends, which happens in the second movie. So 10,000 years before that, and it's going to follow 2 Harkonnen sisters. We were introduced to the Harkonnens in Dune. It was revealed that Paul, of course, is a Harkonnen. Sorry, I'm spoiling it. I'm so sorry. I'm just letting it all out.
I think that's enough information. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so it's right? Follow. We saw the Harkonnens in Dune 2. They were on their like black and white planet where everything looked black and white. So this is gonna follow 2 sisters from that royal family line. And they go on to establish the Bene Gesserit, which is like the witch sisterhood.
Yeah, the witch cult coven, yeah.
Right. So they go on to, this is going to show them establishing that coven.
Got it.
And so that's where this is going to pick
up. So it's backstory for us. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's the backstory of the Doom movies, which is
okay.
Yeah.
Because the Bene Gesserit, because I've read the books, so like the Bene Gesserit kind of like they've got their fingers in everybody's pies and kind of in politics and getting people together and establishing bloodlines
religious
and marriages and
propaganda.
everything.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, so
A little bit
they're
of
gonna establish that group because something is happening that's like threatening the future of humankind, and they already are kind of like a little splinter cell, but they're gonna just kind of grow it. And it's these two sisters who are played by Emma Watson, who plays Valia, and Olivia Williams, who plays Tula. So they're older sisters. So when they establish this, they've already been kind of practicing their little getting everything together. They have like a shadow coven, I'll say. But they kind of
most of the Bene Gesserit, from what I've seen, are elderly. I mean, Paul's mom, and then that other lady that we see in the second movie. Those are the youngest ones. Yeah. Those are the youngest ones I've ever seen. And then, of course, his sister
I think
later.
From the trailer footage, they're going to be showing some. I think this will be different, Sarah, because they're going to be showing some younger, members for just based on the trailer footage, And then, in Dune 2, they had Paul's new wife, the Queen. She was training to be a Bene Gesserit, so
she was the other one I was referring to. Yeah, she's young and yeah,
they're trying to show us some younger people. But this series also has Travis Fimmel, who if you watch Vikings, you know him from Vikings season 1 through like 4 or something like that. Yeah. So I was excited to see Blue Eyes. Also, Mark Strong, and I'm gonna mispronounce this person's name, but I'm gonna say it's Jahe. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but I've seen her in a couple things, and she's phenomenal. So this is gonna be. I think it's gonna be good, and there's gonna be a lot of action.
Definitely. Joe from the Captain's Quadrant says this is going to be the show to watch, and I think he's absolutely right. And when does this show come out?
This one doesn't have an official release date, but they have booked it for late 2024 this year. Okay. And it's going to be on Max in the US and on Now in the UK.
Got it.
So they're going to be showing them at the same time, right?
Okay.
But I'll keep you updated.
Good.
Right, and now we have the ring of power.
That's what I'm waiting to get to. All right, so Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2 is set to release August 29th. So again, tomorrow.
That's August. Tomorrow is July.
Right, I was just joking, like basically, right? I was just joking. I'm just joking. But it's just soon. It's soon. So technically tomorrow. It's soon. But August 29th, and they're going to be doing week by week episodes like they did in season 1. Right now, all of season 1 is available to watch on Prime Video. So you can catch up if you need to catch up.
Yeah, and it's very good. It's very good. And Nita, if you need to know, it's way before the other movies and way before.
This is a really good show. Absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely
way before any of the thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit, which happens before the events of The Lord of the Rings. So it's long before all of that. But without spoiling it too much, you do get to see some of the characters maybe that you might know later on, in their younger forms.
That's right.
Yes. Because elves live almost forever. So
most of the characters some of the characters in Lord of the Rings are hundreds of years old when they show them in the Lord of the Rings films. So, this happens before that, thousands of years, especially with the elves, they live thousands of years. And this show is very, if you can't tell from the poster for the show, and then this is a behind the scenes photo that they took from the first episode. It's very elf focused. So if that was one of your favorite parts of the Lord of the Rings franchise, then you are going to enjoy this. They really do get into it with them, and I love that. Like,
I do too. They were my favorite. The elves.
Well, that's like how The Hobbit was very dwarf focused, and then and I like that. But I mean, it's kind of nice to see more than one type of character and their backstories and all that.
Yeah, I do think that I want to rewatch the first season before it comes out for the second, because I think I might need a little refresher to catch up again, because it's been a while. They made us wait a really long time.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years almost.
Is that Tiffany? Is that
your twin? It's been like 2 years almost since the series came out.
Yeah,
But I know there was a lot of controversy over it because there was a lot of they were, because this version of the show is more inclusive than it has
Yeah.
been before. But and I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was amazing,
Right.
and it's just like
Yeah.
because we only saw one type of Hobbit before, so why wouldn't there be different types and
Yeah.
different colors? And I mean, there's more than one type of people in the world, and that's kind of what I mean. That's nice to know that it's not, you know what I mean? That there's
Right.
diversity within the subsects and the subraces. I just thought it was neat,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
Agreed.
me too. Me too. Me too. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
It was
I love
surprising
the
to me. Like,
diversity.
yeah,
because
yeah.
the hobbits in that were they were a nomadic tribe, weren't they?
Which one? Wait, what'd you say?
In the Rings of Power, the hobbits were a nomadic tribe
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than being settled in farmers.
Yep.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But do
I loved it
you
though.
any last thoughts, Tiffany, before we go to the
Hold
next
on, let
one?
me pull my notes back up. Okay, so yeah, so the photo that we see here is from the season 2 teaser. They're going to do a time jump when the new season picks up. It's not going to pick up right after the events of season 1. And they gave a little sneak peek into it. They said it's going to open up with the orcs, and we're finally gonna get to see Sauron. Well, the assassin. They say it in the. They already say what's gonna happen. They say it's gonna be. We're gonna see the assassination of Sauron in episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So
sounds this is gonna be good because I
they
love
kicking
the
it off.
first
They're kicking
season.
it off hard.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
coming
They put that
hard.
out in Entertainment Weekly that they want us to know that's what's gonna happen in episode 1. And it's gonna be a big opener. But yeah, it should be
Absolutely.
really good. All right,
Well, that's
let's
a
go
pretty
on.
significant event in their world, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yes.
kind
it
of
is.
like the big reveal, at the end of season 1 too. It was like,
Yeah.
what the?
Yes. Season 1 has so
Oh,
many plot threads at the end that they could pull back from, creation of Mordor, identity of mysterious stranger who we think we know who it is, obviously.
yeah.
But yeah, there's so many things they can pull on from season 1.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's move on to the next one.
Next one.
Oh, the next and last, but definitely not the least favorite, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things final season is currently halfway done with filming. So they released a little teaser trailer. These are some screen grabs from the teaser trailer. I didn't want to pull anything that would show too much for people who haven't caught up on season 4. But the gang is all back together, back on the screen together. A couple of the actors in the were saying that they haven't been on screen with the other actors in like 2 seasons. Especially last season, most of the group spent the entirety split up, like from each other. So they're all going to be back together now in one location.
Yeah.
They didn't show, from watching people break down the trailer, they never showed 11 with the other group. Like they showed the boys back together. They never showed 11 with the rest of the group. So we think she's still off fighting Vecna because Vecna's going to come back. She did not kill him at the end. She just wounded him really bad. So the actor has been confirmed for Vecna to come back. And it's just going to be a great final season. But never fear, the Duffer Brothers, who created Stranger Things, have also already inked a new deal with Netflix for another series. It's going to be a horror sci-fi series called Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. Now, that's the working title right now. Yeah. That's the working title right now. And they haven't revealed much about the new show other than the log line, which says Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen is an atmospheric horror series set at a wedding following a bride and groom in the week leading up to their ill-fated nuptials. So that's all we know about that one. Much like Stranger Things, they keeping it under wraps.
Excellent.
So yeah, so the ending of Stranger Things, when we pick up in Stranger Things season 5, they're going to come into what happened at the end of season 4 with the city being, destroyed and all of that happening. So they're going to pick up with the boys in their, I think, second year of high school or final year of high school. I can't remember the timeline on where they are supposed to be in high school because obviously these are adult people playing high school students.
It's because it's taken so long to get it done that they're growing up.
And
we
they
gotta
might
get it
have to
done.
speed it up because
Started the show when she was 11, and now she's 20. Right. And so it's you know, but it is what it is. We love it. They get them in there playing kids, so we are suspended in disbelief, and we believe it.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. But you know, this has been an amazing update, and we're going to be bringing you more updates with Tiffany, and more show with Tiffany. And so make sure you hit that subscribe notification bell so you know when Tiffany's segment is coming up. Now, when we do these sci-fi television episodes, updates, we will not be doing book recommendations or scientists, showcasing any scientists, just so that we can dedicate this entire time to getting these updates. Okay, guys?
Give Tiffany the floor.
That's right. But I do want to, before we go, let you guys know when our next episode will be, which is going to be the review of the first season of the show, The Fallout. And that's going to be August 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to have a special guest, Joseph the Platypus. You've probably seen him on TikTok. Pretty awesome guy there. He's going to be joining us, and we're going to be talking to him about the Fallout. This is a terrific sci-fi. And Tiffany, I hope you can make it and join us, because Tiffany's going to be our roaming reporter. So she's going to try to make it to all of the episodes, or as many episodes as she can. But this one, I would love for you to be definitely, give us a little bit of your series. Yes, amazing series.
I love the games. I love the series. They did a phenomenal job with the series. It's like creating characters, because obviously these characters don't exist in the game. But yeah, that's all I'll say. I'll talk about the rest next week.
Yeah, so August 9th, which will be in 2 weeks at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, guys. But we want to just thank you guys for joining us tonight. And we are going to bid you a good night.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our new channel so that you can get notified when new videos come up. Thank you for watching our show.